I believe Munchkin came out in 2011, but this is 2014's Munchkin Deluxe, in which you kill the monsters, steal the treasure, and stab your buddy. Still developed by Steve Jackson at Steve Jackson Games, Munchkin is a game in which you must reach level 10 before your rivals by any means necessary. This can be done in a variety of ways, and the game has a lot of chaotic elements to it. And as perfect timing and evidence of this, we have 3 bookmarks in this box that are all actual playable elements of the game that allow you to do crazy things within this realm of Munchkin. The game comes with 2 decks of cards, and there are just limitless expansions that you can get out and add in any order, in any combination.
But this video is not about Munchkin Deluxe. That was the box that farted. You probably didn't even hear that. Now I sound suspicious. This video is about Munchkin Warhammer Age of Sigmar, which is based on Steve Jackson's Munchkin, developed by Andrew Hackard. This is a Warhammer official licensed product. I was able to score this copy off of eBay. I don't quite remember if it was $35, but this particular copy comes with the Chaos and Order and Death and Destruction expansions, making this a pretty complete Warhammer Age of Sigmar experience for anybody who just wants to play Munchkin. You can explore the mortal realms by killing monsters, stealing treasure, and stabbing your buddy. Look at this charming illustration of Skaven. He's lost his foot. I don't know why he's lost his foot. That's what this video is about. So we are going to unbox. Join me as we. Oh, I got this from Nerd Mall. So shout out to Nerd Mall. Not for free. I had to buy this. I had to pay money for it, but it shipped to me from Nerd Mall. So yes, buy, sell, trade at Nerd Mall. This video is not sponsored. We have our Munchkin Deluxe board featuring Age of Sigmar graphics. This is really not like super essential. You can just track whatever level you are at in a game of Munchkin, and you can put your piles of cards, your decks of treasure and doors and the discard piles on the table. That's how you play classic Munchkin anyway. But having said that, we have a beautifully illustrated board, and yeah, I think the art of John Kovalik is highly refined. He's been doing this for, I can't say decades now, unless he has a repertoire of work that extends past Munchkin, which honestly wouldn't surprise me, but it also could just be Munchkin. We got a lot of iconic Age of Sigmar faces here, from the lowly Squig to, what are these guys, the Night Haunts, to our Crushas. I'm going to admit here, I'm gonna be vulnerable. I don't know what the Peapod is. The smiling Peapod? I don't know what that is. Our mighty Stormcast Eternals have never looked more powerful, more confident. So what all does the base game come with, and what do the expansions come with? A nice little snack, the instructions for setup, card management, starting and finishing the game, conflicts between cards and rules, when you may take actions, turn phases, kick down the door, draw 1 card from the door deck and turn it face up, look for trouble or loot the room. If you fought a monster in phase 1, skip this phase and go to phase 3. If you did not draw a monster when you first opened the door, you have 2 choices, either look for trouble or loot the room. Looking for trouble means playing a monster from your hand and fighting it just as though you had found it when you kicked open the door. Looting the room means you can draw a 2nd card from the door deck, face down, and place it in your hand. Charity, if you have more than 5 cards in your hand, you must play enough cards to get you to 5 or below. Combat has very basic rules. When you fight a monster, you compare your combat strength, your level plus any bonuses or penalties, to the monster's combat strength. If your combat strength is greater, you win. And each character is basically a collection of weapons, armor, and magic items with 2 stats, army and level. For instance, you might describe your character as a level 8 Stormcast Eternal with gumshoes and a hammerblade, riding a Taurolon. Army referring to the Stormcast Eternal part. Characters can be Hidden Knights of Slaanesh, Ideneth, Moon Clan Grots, Night Haunts, Skaven, or Stormcast Eternals. If you have no army card in front of you, they just haven't drafted you yet. So basically like your race cards if you're playing fantasy classic Munchkin, which is, it's very, very much rooted in just classic fantasy. Level counters, asking for help, undead and chaos monsters running away, death, rewards, curses. How do we open this? Okay, they chose chaos for this. Treasures, one-shot treasures, other treasures, combat, interfering with combat, which is something that you can do and what makes the game a little bit more chaotic. Example of combat with numbers and everything, fighting multiple monsters, more Munchkin and super-sized Munchkin. And you can combine this with Munchkin Warhammer 40k. The rules kinda sorta really are just that simple for Munchkin. Here are our 12 standees. We have male and female, what is it, Sigmar saves written on his hammer. Stormcast Eternals. The only problem is we only have Stormcast Eternals. We have nothing to represent any other of the armies. This is kind of sad. Here's our Chaos and Order expansion, not in the box, but definitely in this box. Here's our Death and Destruction expansion. Each expansion comes with its own little instruction pamphlet, and the treasure and door decks respective. There's also a way to tell exactly which expansion the cards come from, so you can easily sort them back into their piles or take them out of the game entirely. This is what comes with regular, normal, vanilla Munchkin. Age of Sigmar, Warhammer, and everything is sealed. It's all brand new. I couldn't have asked for anything more. So basically, if this game is more or less just Munchkin, and there's really not a whole lot of difference between it and Munchkin in any way, shape, or form, I don't need to keep my vanilla Munchkin. I can save on space and just have the Age of Sigmar version of the game. Oh, I see that the decks aren't really like separated necessarily. We have some door cards mixed in with our treasure cards. We probably have some treasure cards mixed in with our door cards. I doubt very much there's... Oh yeah. That's how that goes. Thank you, Munchkin. I appreciate that. Honestly, card sortation raises costs for production, and it's not really necessary. Just make your buyers do it. Stupid buyers. There's our door deck. There's our treasures deck. This bag has a die and another bag with stands in it, and we have just a regular 1d6 blue and yellow, the color of the Stormcast Eternals, with a Munchkin head, the classic guy with the Orc Begone chainsaw on the cover of the vanilla box, as our 1, not as our 6. It's a very important distinction to be made there. Stands are nice and heavy, pretty much unbreakable. I wanted to point out that the Warhammer 40k has 3 expansions at least. We have Faith and Firepower, Savagery and Sorcery, and Cults and Cogs. And I can see a lovely rendition of one of the Sisters of Battle right here in the Faith and Firepower box. I do not see anything about expansions for the Age of Sigmar version of this game on its box. Kind of funky, kind of strange. I'm willing to bet there's not another expansion. I didn't look it up. I didn't do any research. I'm willing to bet I have all of the expansions because Chaos, Order, Death, and Destruction are pretty much the 4 grand alliances in the Age of Sigmar. So now what? Well, I just want to give you an example of what some of these cards might entail. When you draw these cards and you have them in your hand, you have a card that just simply says you go up a level. First blood, done. It's hilarious. Can be as simple as playing a card, and that's how you can go up a level. Blessed by the Silver Saint, go up a level. Find an artifact of power, go up a level. You may discard this instead to draw 3 face-down treasures, because maybe you're just really, really weak and you need to get more firepower. Maybe one of your opponents is getting really close to level 10, and you need a way to take him down a few pegs rather than advance yourself up a peg in order to have a fighting chance. Finish painting your army, go up a level. Well, this card deserves to be framed. Now, I know I read off 4 of these in a row, but they're not that common in the deck. So continuing through the treasures deck, we have Arcane Bolt, play during any combat, +4 to either side, usable once only. This is important. It's a one-shot. You play this during any combat, which means you can play it during your own combat to give you +4 and potentially defeat a much stronger foe so that you can go up that level once you defeat the foe. Or you can play this for a monster when your opponent is playing a combat in order to give that monster +4 and potentially take down your buddy. That's the whole stab your buddy part of this game. Having said that, that might force your buddy to play some cards to try to mitigate the effects of this and add more power to their own side, because you have Arcane Bolt, but then they might have your Inspiring Presence. We have a Stormcast Cheerleader. Play during any combat, +3 to either side, usable once only. It is a one-shot, as it specifies in the corner. I can appreciate the redundancy, though. It makes everything very clear. Play during any combat in which a monster has 1 or more enhancers played on it. Remove those enhancers. Usable once only. That's Unbind. Firegeist Chili. I don't know if that's a real thing in Warhammer. You'll have to let me know. Play during any combat, +2 to either side. This is a flame fire attack, usable once only. It specifies that, so if there is a flame or fire attribute mentioned in the combat, or if it's important to either side, such as an additional weakness or strength, that's going to come into play. We have Quicksilver Potions, play during any combat, +2 to the Munchkin side, and they have +1 to run away, usable once only. Akshi Flame Ale, this is a fire flame attack. The Black Amulet, so you might be getting the hang of these one-shot attacks. +5 to either side for Shade Mist, this has no effect against undead creatures. War Scroll, +4 to the Munchkin side. Love that. Battle Brew, Chaos Talisman. Here's where things get a little bit more mechanical. Roll the die. 2 or less, +3 to the monsters. 3 to 4, +2 to each Munchkin and each monster, and 5 or greater, +3 to the Munchkins. You're the Munchkin, by the way. The players are all the Munchkins. Doesn't matter what race you are, what weapons you have, what class you are a Munchkin. This is the loaded die. Play after you roll the die for any reason. Turn the die so the number of your choices on top. That's your roll. Play after you roll the die for any reason. This is the same thing, just different graphics. Mystic Shield. Play when you're about to run away from one or more monsters on your turn. You and your helper, if any, escape automatically, usable once only. This is a great game for more than 2 players because 2 players can team up or allocate resources to one another to try to help each other, while you have that 3rd or 4th or 5th or however many other players there are trying to sabotage you. So you can kind of form like alliances, however temporary, in the game, and you can absolutely have betrayals. We continue to see the reloaded die. Play after any other player rolls the die for any reason, but this game is much more than just the instance attack modifiers. We also have cards like Rock Eye. While you have this, you may look at 2 cards when you kick down the door and choose one to encounter, discarding the other, but you also have -1 to run away because of lost depth perception. Soul Pod. Oh, thank you, game, for answering my earlier question. Play when you are in combat alone. Take the top monster in the door, discards. Its level adds to your combat strength in this fight, but it has no other abilities, usable once only. Aqua Geranis. Play when you are hit with a curse or bad stuff that costs you levels. Ignore the level loss. Usable once only. The Wishing Ring cancels any curse. Play at any time. Usable once only. This is another Wishing Ring. This is a Plague Scroll. All Munchkins in the fight suffer the effect of the top curse in the discards. Usable once only, and that's why we have discard piles and how those come into play. We've got Shade Glass. Play when you are the target of a curse played by another player. That curse reflects back on them as though you had played it. Grave Sand. All the monsters dissolve into sand, leaving 1 treasure each and granting no levels. The combat is over. Usable once only. Boots of the Oppressor. The Loon Helm. Now we're starting to get into the equipment cards. This is headgear. It's a +2 bonus. A +2 bonus for the Aether Quartz Pendant. +2 bonus for a battle plan, fight, kill, repeat. The Moon on a Stick, +2 bonus, an extra +3 for Moon Clan Grots. Conditional gear that has changing stats depending on what army you are. Moonkata. The Veil of Indulgence. Oh, she's beautiful. An extra +4 bonus when looking for trouble. It's a +2 bonus otherwise, but it's usable by Hedonite of Slaanesh only. The Volt Spear. The Dreadblade. You may wield this in 1 hand for a +2 bonus, or in 2 hands for a +5. If you cheat this card, you automatically get the higher bonus. Gumshoes. These sticky shoes can't be stolen or lost to curses or bad stuff, but you have -1 to run away. The Crown of Conquest. No bonus against chaos monsters. The Bellowing Blade. The Drake Scale Armor. The Ladder of Command, usable by Moon Clan Grot only. The Liquid Core Sword. Mangler Squid. Mournfang. +1 to run away. Plague Reaper. Oh yeah. I gotta go over this really quick. These are steeds. You can have these guys as part of your whole loadout. So not only can you have various pieces of weapons and armor and artifacts and stuff, but you can also have steeds, and they will give you bonuses as well. I have also seen companions, so we'll see if there are companions in this deck. The Talon Hook. The Valentian Crown, usable by Night Haunt only. The Web-Strung Cloak. The Hallowed Knight's Armor. The Living Blade. I love that. This sword takes up 1 hand on the turn when you equip it. On subsequent turns, it no longer takes up a hand slot unless you unequip it and re-equip it. It still counts as a hand item, so it takes 0 hands, and it gives you a +3 bonus. Sewer Clogs. I love this illustration. It's great. Look at this clan rat. You have +1 to run away, but if you help or are helped in combat, the other Munchkin has -1. Sigmarite. +6 against chaos. Celestite. Armor of the Kithay, of the Scythe, usable by Idoneth only. Banmar, the White Blade. The Black Coach, the Ravaging Claw. Alakanash has no bonus against undead monsters. The Doom Gong. Yes, the Doom Gong. It is a 2-handed big weapon with a +4 bonus. The Hammerblade. Galmaraz. That's usable by Stormcast Eternals only, for obvious reasons. The Slayer of Kings is a +8 bonus. Variable bonus, the Warp Tongue Blade. Roll the die when you enter combat. This blade has half of your roll, rounded up. So it's either going to be a 2, a 4, or a 6. A nice bit of thinking. Go up a level. Forward to Victory, go up a level. Gift of the Spider God, go up a level. That's great. Love that. Score a major victory. go up a level. Vile, transference, steal a level. Take a level from the highest level character, your choice if there's a tie. You cannot use this card if you're in first place or tied for first. +4 bonus, Tauralon. This is another steed. The Tusk Gore Chariot. Our first glimpse at Gores in this Munchkin universe. And Nurgle's Nail, and then another steed, the Star Drake. All right, so that is absolutely all of the base game treasure cards. And, oh, Fever Cactus Stew. Let that one go. We're gonna take a look at the slightly larger Kick Down the Door deck, because I think folks will really appreciate the creatures and the references in this deck even more. The Gangle-Legged Git Grabber, the Segmapede, the Aether Wing, the Fire Belly, the Boggle Eye, the Ravening Dire Flock. I'm going through these kind of quick, but I hope that you can see the anatomy of the cards here. They have levels, they have their names, they have additional details for the mechanics of this monster, and then what happens if you lose the combat, bad stuff. And of course the illustration and the fact that it's from the base game, and how many treasures it's worth if you defeat it. So if we go ahead and take a look at the level 1 Segmapede, Munchkins get no bonuses for footgear in this combat. Bad stuff, discard 2 cards. Good stuff, 1 treasure. If you defeat this enemy, you'll get to draw 1 treasure card. Our level 2 Aether Wing here will not fight Stormcast Eternals. It just drops a treasure and flies off to the discard pile. Bad stuff, lose a level, 1 treasure otherwise. The Scry Shroom. The Skink. I love skinks. It's a level 4. Level 6 Kurdos Valentian. Once Kurdos enters combat, no other undead may join, even with a wandering monster card. Icefall Yeti. Jabberslife. Oh man, the bad stuff here is monumental. Discard a treasure from your hand, draw a face-down door, pass 1 card to your left, hum a few bars of your favorite song, and lose a level. The Loon Smasher Fanatic, the Goblin Fanatic who has been around for literally decades. The Chimera, Festus the Leech Lord. Honestly, though, which of these monsters has not been around for decades? Lady Olander, that's nice. I wonder what her actual, serious mini looks like. The Lightning Geist, he's level 14. +4 against Stormcast Eternals. I didn't know they had that. And they have to worry about the Lightning Geist. They appear in a bolt of lightning. That's why that's a big deal for me. So you think lightning would be their friend all the time. Lord Celestant Vandus Hammerhand, level 18, +4 against Skaven and Hedonite of Slanesh, +8 against both. Will not pursue level 3 or lower. Bad stuff? Skaven and Hedonite of Slanesh are dead. Others lose 2 levels. Archaon, the Ever Chosen. That is an awesome Chaos Warrior. The Accursed. Warranty expired. Alliance. By the way, you may attach this to a single army card to ignore its disadvantages, or to 2 army cards to have all their disadvantages and advantages. Battle Trained. Chaos Storm. Love the idea of that. Cheat. Attach this card to an item you have in play, or as you play an item from your hand, you gain that item's full benefits and none of its disadvantages, even if otherwise you could not use it at all. Discard this card when you lose the item is it attached to, and that's what cheating means in the context of this game, because there are some items that are like, if you cheat this item, then this is how it works instead of normal. Curse of the Spider God. Lose a level. Eat your heart out, Lolth. Curse. Ate a madcap toadstool. You lose the headgear you are wearing. Curse. Battle Shock. Clammy Hands, Doomblast Dirgehorn, Everwinter, Fading Vigor. Curse. Fell in a filth pit. No one will help you in combat or accept your help until you kill a monster unaided. You may use a wishing ring or lose 2 levels to shed this curse at any time. Curse. Gloom Spite. If you don't find a monster when you kick down the door, you must look for trouble instead of looting the room, unless you have no monsters in your hand. Leave this in front of you as a reminder. Curse. Loonstorm. That word is really funny, Loonstorm. You may play this card at the moment someone thinks they have just won to prevent them from gaining the winning level. Curse. Mallard Odorous. Is that real? You should know better than to pick up a duck in Nurgle's domain. Is that real? Is that real, Warhammer nerds? Is the Mallard Odorous a real thing? Necroquake. Love the Necroquake. Curse. Nick it. If you aren't wearing any armor, lose a level. Lose the armor you are wearing otherwise. So you can kind of see how this... Oh, there it is. Nurgle's Rot. The game keeps interrupting me. It keeps interrupting me. If you aren't wearing any footgear, lose a level. Or lose the footgear you are wearing. Soul Blight. Yeah, so you can kind of see how the mechanics of this game pretty much work and how all of the elements work together just by reading these card descriptions. Retreat! Play during any combat. The monsters disappear, granting no levels, but leaving 2 treasures. The combat is over. Twin. another monster appears of the same level and with all the same monster enhancers. If the monsters are defeated, draw a treasure for each and go up levels for each. You can play this on yourself. If you're confident enough that you can beat the monster that you're about to fight, ×2, but beware, because then somebody could play a card that could enhance the monster. Wandering monster. This is a great way for a monster to enter the battlefield. Play this with a monster from your hand during any combat. Wandering monster, Azir or bust. Command model, +10 to monster. Play during any combat. If the monster is defeated, draw 2 extra treasures. Love that, love that. Chaotic, +5 to monster. Reinforcement, +5 to monster. Shy-ish, -5 to monster. Very clever. Understrength, -5 to monster. We continue on, and we are almost at the army cards, and I want to show you the army cards, so just bear with me a little bit more. Brain Barnacles, +4 against Idoneth. Dead Walkers, Dritch Leeches, Namarti, +4 against Night Haunts. Spite Shrooms, Stalag Squigs, I didn't know those existed. Ungor, it's an Ungor. Awesome, +4 against Stormcast Eternals. Squigalanche, I love that term, and I think that that's amazing. I want to read the story in which the Squigalanche happens. The Ale Guzzler Gargant, the Branch Wraith, the Daughter of Cain, legendary, amazing. I love her. Soul Render, Manfred von Karstein. That's great. That is great. Saurus Sunblood. Oh, you're a Saurus. That's what you are. I wasn't able to tell. But now I know. The Skitterstrand, Arachnarok, Queen Neferata, Archon the Black, Vermin Lord Corruptor. Absolutely fantastic. The Glotkin, the Hedonite of Slaanesh. We've made it to the armies. So these are basically the races. If you're used to classic Munchkin, there are 6 of them in Munchkin Age of Sigmar. The Hedonites of Slaanesh, the Idoneth, the Moon Clan Grots, the Skaven, the Stormcast Eternals, and the Night Haunts. Every army has got 2 traits and descriptions that describe what the traits mean. They all have the same traits between, members of that army, but they do have different artwork. So the Hedonites of Slaanesh have Inhumanity and Dark Gift. This one's my favorite. I would love to have, or see at least, the model on which this one is based. I have to imagine that they're based on a model in reality. Maybe I'm wrong. Idoneth have Spirit, Theft, and Escape from Chaos. I know nothing about this particular army. I need to know more. Are they the Dark Elves? Next up, the Moon Clan Grot. They have Safety in Numbers and Strike from the Shadows. Next up, we have the Skaven, my favorite by default, and I love these 2 illustrations in particular. Hide in Plain Sight and Entropy. Next up, we've got the Stormcast Eternals. I don't mind the Stormcast Eternals. I actually like them just fine. I like the concept of them quite a bit. They're basically just armor-clad savior types. They have lightning attack and death transformation. But the thing I like about them is that they can be struck down. They can be killed. And when they are killed, they come back. So it's like instant reincarnation. However, they lose a little bit more of their humanity every time it happens. So you have some very stoic Stormcast Eternals that have been struck down many, many times. And basically at this point, they are just killing machines. I think they are very much an analog to the Space Marines of 40k. It's one kind, really, of Space Marine. Until you get deep into Age of Sigmar and you realize there's a lot of little sub-camps and different smaller squads and stuff. They can't have the range of the lore of the Space Marines and the chapters that make up the thousands of different kinds of Space Marines that are out there in 40k, but it's as close of an analog as you can really get in Age of Sigmar, and honestly, it's probably more than enough. Do we really need thousands of chapters to tell infinite stories? The Night Haunts are here. I would love to see the model on which that one's based. It is hilarious. I've definitely seen enough of those Night Haunt models. They have Undead Lord and Boon of Nagash. I'm going to make a prediction here that I've pronounced about half of these words incorrectly because I've only ever seen them in print, and I don't talk Warhammer shop with anybody. I only had a couple of coworkers, one coworker ever who knew anything about Age of Sigmar. Everybody else is a 40k nerd, and while I respect it, I am not a 40k nerd. Let's move on to Chaos and Order. Got a rusty, wet yet dry Dollar Tree blade that I use to open these packages. I don't want to hear any sass comments below. Actually, it's pronounced Idoneth. I have no idea. I can't believe you're using that Dollar Tree box cutter to cut open your cards. Don't you know Ash, why aren't you wearing gloves? Blood Boil. I wish so much that it said Blood Bowl. Okay, we're at Chaos and Order. So we've got several cards that are going to represent dwarves. Finally, dwarves. Roar of Grungni. Oh yeah. Aethershot Earbuster. The Sky Mines. Soul Slice Shards. Storm of Gore. Jesus. Loaded Dice. More of those. The Reloaded Dice, the Wrath Monger Blood, the Wishing Ring. We've got a couple more of those. We really basically are just looking at extensions and more copies of cards that exist. And we have additional bonuses, a few more mechanics. So we'll take a look at the instruction pamphlet to see exactly what is new as far as this expansion. The Axe of Corn. Love that. The mag-charged boots, the volley pistol. I have a strong suspicion that dwarves are going to be one of the armies introduced by this expansion. I don't know why I think that. Basically, you could call me a bit of a psychic, a bit of an empath who can see things like the future. Kulzax, Blood for the Blood God, go up a level. Oh, negative. Love that. Easy come, easy go. Play after you've lost an item to curse or bad stuff and go up a level. Merit play, Potion of Wealth Acquisition. If anybody can come up with it, the dwarves can. Chaos. Order. These starkly opposing philosophies clash in legendary battles. Heroes are forged in these encounters, which leaves everyone else free to stab each other in the back and steal whatever loot isn't nailed down. It wouldn't be Munchkin without a little friendly betrayal. Oh, you really don't. You don't have, there's nothing here. There's no information whatsoever about anything. It's just here it is. Have fun. Okay, well that's cool. I can appreciate that. Let's move on. Take a look at the door cards that you would be adding to your deck. Alliance, cheat, curse, bitter harvest, brutal command, density holes, gift. Forgot the primer, lose a level. I love that. Krenka Gorogna. You may not use one-shots in your next combat. Mesmerizing Mirror, Curse, misinterpret the code. If you aren't wearing armor, lose 2 items of your choice and lose your armor. Murderous to the last, no respite. What is that? Automatically fail your next runaway attempt. The Blood God Scorn, too much flocking. I love how they've incorporated the idea of just your models. The Whip of Subversion. Game interrupting me again because of how funny. Wandering Monster. It's a squigactite. Squiglactite. I don't like how that sounds. I don't want to say that one. Champion. Lively. +5 to monster. Orderly. Unbit. Another one. Bloodbound. Oh, the army cards. There they are. Okay, weirdly enough, we have 4 army cards to represent the Bloodbound. They have Battle Lust and Sacrifice Your Allies. Alright, it's definitely a Khorne faction, evidenced by the Khorne symbol tattooed all over their bodies. And looks like we have a 4th card for our base game armies as well. The Hedonite of Slaanesh, and I really like that. I would like to see the model that one's based on. Idoneth. Is it a short eye, spirit theft, and escape from chaos, dark gift and inhumanity for the Hedonite? Caradron. Gee, I was right. Wow, Ash has done it again. 100% prediction rate. Death from above and Shrewd Trader. Yep, we've got dwarves. They have a name, but they're dwarves. The Moon Clan Grot and the Night Haunt. I guess I should actually show you their illustrations. And the Skaven, who has Hide in Plain Sight, and the Stormcast Eternal, who has Lightning Attack transformation. We have a few more of these monsters, so it looks like the expansion essentially just came with one good army and one bad army, one chaos army, one order army. I'm kind of sad about that. I would have liked to have seen more. Oh, it's an Ard Boy. Awesome. Oh, it's an Ogre. Awesome. Arcanaut. I would have liked to have seen more representation of chaos and order in there. A level 12 Endrin Rigger, -1 to run away. The bad stuff is death from above. No, literally, you are dead. If you defeat him, you get 3 treasures. The Cripslow, -4 against Caradron. Vorgun Loshar, Scylla Anfengrim. Yeah, I'm gonna butcher those names. Auric Rune, the Keeper of Secrets. And Valkia the Gore Queen. Check her out. It's bloody Valkia. Awesome. Love to see that. Love those references. All right, so that was nice and brief. And so Death and Destruction should be equally brief. I'm guessing we're going to see orcs here and maybe the Age of Sigmar version of Tomb Kings. Once again, our Our pamphlet really doesn't have anything. Oh, look at that. It actually does have a blurb. The armies of death serve the ends of Nagash, making sure that the living know their place in the multiverse, and serving as a reminder that, in the end, Nagash rules all. Even among them, the flesh-eater courts are unusual, convinced that they are setting the standard for high society and proper behavior. As far as they're concerned, cannibalism is what everyone who's anyone is doing these days. Conversely, the armies of destruction hunger for the obliteration of everything, and no one is better at obliterating stuff than the Iron Jaws or it. Even their own demise serves to further the aims of destruction, so they fight fearlessly, ferociously, and frequently with everyone. Did we get the same blurb on this? No, not at all. We didn't get any kind of blurb for Chaos and Order. It's like Chaos and Order were too boring to write a blurb for. All right, so confirmed. We're going to get the night, not the night haunts. The flesh-eater courts, that's what we're getting. I'm a bit rambly today. I'm a little bit all over the place. I'm happy to be home after a day of adventuring. I'm also in slightly unfamiliar territory here. It's been well over a decade since I have played Munchkin, and the Munchkin Deluxe box that I have has sat on my shelf untouched for a long time. The last time I played Munchkin, as a matter of fact, it was New Year's Eve, and the goal was really to just get blackout drunk. It wasn't to really play Munchkin, but I was having fun playing Munchkin until I kind of sort of passed out in my chair, in my seat. Not proud of that. I'm not really a drinker, so it didn't really take a whole lot, but I mean, it was New Year's. I think that was only the third ever game of Munchkin that I did play, or the third session anyway, multiple games in one session. Turn your coat. If you have no army now, this curse has no effect. Otherwise, go back to the discard pile, starting with the top discard. The first army card you come to replace is your current army. If you go through the discards without finding an army card, you just lose your own army. Wandering monsters. Wandering monster. Love that. By the way, yeah, loving the meta that these are just miniatures at the end of the day. And they somehow know that their miniature is mispainted. I don't know what you're talking about. She's beautiful. Oh, -5 to monster? Oh, it doesn't matter. It's just, it's whatever. Play during any combat. If the monster is defeated, draw 1 fewer treasure, but minimum of 1, so -1 treasure. And now we reach the army cards. Again, we have several, and it looks like they have added more cards to the base game yet again. That's strange, but let's see what we got here. The Flesh Eaters. There are 4 of them altogether, the Flesh Eater courts. So we didn't really get any high and refined or noble ones. They're just all disgusting zombies. They have Savior of the Living and Eat the Rich. We have an additional Hidden Knight of Slaanesh. You're not drawing out the enough when you say Slaanesh. Another Idoneth. Very fishy. An Iron Jaws. Yes, we have 4 of these Iron Jaws. What's the difference between an Iron Jaws and an Ardboy? You'll have to let me know in the comments below. They have Armor Mastery and Steed Mastery. An extra Moon Clan Grant, an extra Night Haunt, an extra Skaven, basically the perfect illustration. I have no notes. And an extra Stormcast Eternal. We have Blood Vulture, Mordant, Auric Brute, Volshark, Wardock, Bloodgrin, Chaingast, Cursling, Deft, love him, Arcanite, Boarboy Maniac. Wait a minute, that looks like gosh, we really don't have any of my boy Tzeentch, the nerd bird. He's got no representation here, but this looks like a Tzeentch follower. Am I wrong about this? Anyway, it's +4 against Iron Jaws, Boarboy Maniac, the Kinerai Harpy, nice, the Savage Orc Moorboy, the Magister, Weird Knob Shaman, the Witch Elf. I really like the Witch Elves. I think they're super cool. The Wurgog Prophet, Melusai. What are those? Interesting. Are they what happens when Dark Elves get Chaos Gifts? Is that a thing? The Terrorgeist, the Frost Lord, Vargulf Courtier, the Wyvern, Morathi, -4 against Flesh Eaters, and the Changeling, lovely. Just going to use the same 3 adjectives over and over again. The Aberrant Ghoul King, Kairos Fate Weaver. We do have Tzeentch representation in this deck. Thank you. Gordrak, the Fist of Gork, and Vulcatrix, the Mother of Salamanders, immune to Fire Flame attacks, but Fire Flame one-shots played to help her count triple. Will not pursue level 3 or below. The last thing that we have to look through, you could probably safely skip. They're basically the treasure cards for the Death and Destruction expansion. Death Shriek 2 becomes 3. You have 1 extra hand. -1 hand? I know it says -1 hand, but that's the equipment clarification. It would be a 1 hand if it was going to be a weapon that took 1 hand. This is -1 hand, so now you have... I don't need to explain it. You already know. Well-timed headbutt. The Great Zappa Squig. Glamour Fetish. Juju Squig. Don't know. Venom of Nagendra. Loaded, reloaded. More symbols on the illustrations of dice to add to your collection, ever growing. And you could absolutely, it would be in the spirit of the game to selectively take whatever of these cards you wanted and build very specific decks and play the game with the confines of just that deck, the Bone Sword. You could have something that is just this most chaotic version of Munchkin, the most unpredictable deck with only the most extreme of game-changing cards in the deck, and 100% it would be in the spirit of the game. It would just be Munchkin. The big Wargog mask, the crown of woe, little angry face, the pelt of Charngar, septic talons. Do the Night Haunt have... Night Haunt, I keep calling them that. Do the Flesh Eater Courts have giant talons? Right here, Ash. Do the Flesh Eater Court zombies have large talons? Stiletto heels, Magmarite axe, the Iron Heart of Cain, the Maw Crusher, awesome. The Wah staff, amazing. The Wand of Whimsy, charge, go up a level. Check that out. Look at all that stuff he's got. Looks like me at the bookstore. Tons of stuff. Iron Jaws, Skaven, Terrain, Stormcast, Adoneth, Sylvaneth Starter, Night Haunt Minis, Gloomspite Gitz Army, Corn Starter, Easy Come, Easy Go, Escape the Crystal Labyrinth. 9 shall be their number. Play when another player reaches 9. You can go up a level. Potion of Wealth Acquisition. So more or less, that's the entirety of everything that is anything related to Munchkin Warhammer Age of Sigmar. I actually want to play this. I don't know that I'd ever be in a situation where I would be hanging out with friends and they'd say, actually, I really just want to play normal Munchkin. I really don't want to play, you know, some offshoot or alternative version. Let's just play normal Munchkin without the theming. I mean, if they wanted to do that, then I guess we could do that, but question becomes, do I think that it's worth keeping both boxes? Personally, I don't think so. I think that I could just keep my Age of Sigmar box. It looks like I'm getting a lot of opportunities to do the same things with the same mechanics in this one too, once I have combined all of the expansions with the base game. At any rate, I'm more than confident that this pulls off exactly what this wants to do, but in the Age of Sigmar theming. But I'll keep this a little bit longer, and in the comments, if you have played both of these and you really had a Munchkin itch one day, did playing the Age of Sigmar version scratch that for you, or was there anything about it that just left you wanting more normal Munchkin? And don't let the answer be, well, yeah, I like Munchkin, because then I'm able to combine it with the 80 expansions that it has, because, like, while I'm probably not going to do that with this, seeming as how the cards for the expansions all have the same backs as the cards here, thereby making it obvious when you're about to draw an expansion card in your door or treasure deck. I'm also not planning on buying a bunch of expansions for vanilla Munchkin. If I was going to do that, I would have done it by now. I just don't play the game often enough to warrant buying expansions for it. And with this, I won't have to ever buy expansions. I'll simply have them in the box. Maybe all this is a moot point and I'm just filling time, but I've really gone on long enough with all of my jabberjaw in this video. So I bid you a huge thank you for your kind attention, first of all, and I will see you in the next exciting adventure. Until then, brave heroes. Comment what you like down below, and I'll see you in the next one. I already said that. I've got Munchkin brain now. I don't know what fixes Munchkin brain. Coffee only makes it worse. I think I'll go watch some amazing digital circus. That should set my mind straight. Farewell for now. I forgot my coffee. And by bye for now, what I really meant was, man, it's awkward. We're both walking the same direction to leave this place. No, I decided, why did I pose the question to you guys when I could just verify for myself? I have here my regular Munchkin game, obviously, kind of compared with my Age of Sigmar game. I've got everything's sorted by bonuses. There's +2 bonus, +3 bonus, +4 bonus. I've got my level up cards and my items that don't confer any bonuses. And I'm really just trying to figure out if there is a one-to-one analog of every card. If this really is just an Age of Sigmar skin. I'm pretty happy to report that's not the case. Age of Sigmar and Vanilla Munchkin are pretty different, at least with the ratio of the types of cards there are. As you can see here, there's a lot of +1 bonus cards with the regular Munchkin. All of that balance was pre-configured. Warhammer Munchkin, there's just the one +1 bonus card. There is pretty much an equal amount of +2 bonus cards between the two games. And while there's a similar amount of +3 bonuses and +4 bonuses, the text describing the additional mechanics is a bit different. We do have a +5 bonus usable by wizard only for Staff of Napalm, and then we have 2 +5 bonuses. So it looks like Galmaraz was supposed to be the analog to the Staff of Napalm, but no, they really just have more bonuses up in the higher levels. Vanilla Munchkin has more go up a level cards without any additional mechanics. They both have a single steal a level card, but Age of Sigmar has more go up a level cards that have additional mechanics on them. And then the additional mechanics on all of these cards are all pretty different significantly, except for cards like the Wishing Ring. I honestly thought there would be more lucky or loaded and reloaded dice with the vanilla game. Kind of surprised to find that there aren't any of those cards. I thought that was a Munchkin staple for some reason. Maybe I'm thinking of a specific expansion, maybe that my friends had when they brought it over and I played it for the first and second time. But no, all of these cards are different enough that this is doing something slightly different. So if you've got a friend who's like an expert at Vanilla Munchkin, this is really going to throw them off their game. So that was kind of the point of this out-of-the-box comparison, and I also wanted to discover if I felt I should keep my Vanilla Munchkin, and I don't think I should. The Age of Sigmar Munchkin is different enough to be really novel, but it's also analogous enough to not need the original Munchkin. The one thing that I will say where Age of Sigmar's Munchkin goes wrong is the avatars here. They're okay, they're fine, but the original has so much more charm. I really like our guy here with the horn helmet and the huge chainsaw, and I really like the girl and her huge, ginormous, very much easy to look at axe.